One of the greatest commodity in the world of business and of residential life itself is land. And why is land so important? Why is it so important for us to have land, to acquire land? I'm not talking about properties now, because it's two different things here. A property is something that is already developed. It may have houses on it, or it may have businesses on it, or some type of hardware that was put there by an effort. Land is different from properties. What we're talking about right now is land, just raw land. The reason why land is so important is because everything comes from land. Everything that you can think of, everything that you can look on around you, it came from land. Everything was made from land. So the earth, land, is the source from which all things were created. So all things were created by land, air, and water. So this is the rudiment of all creation of man. I said before in this video that land is different from property. A property is developed land. Land that something has been done to it, something has been built and something has been done to it. So the topography of the land has been changed and it has now been revalued to worth more than it was because of what is done to it. The reason why I'm doing this video, I want to make clear the definition of land acquisition and what that is. When you contribute land to the B5 community for use, you contribute land on this basis. The basis that a business operation is going on and you're in partnership with some other people to do business. And they need the land in order to set up this business on or to set up this company on it. So you come in as the land owner into this business. That can be a dangerous thing if it is not properly defined. And I'm gonna go over two things. I'm talking real slow in this video so that everyone can understand what we're talking about. The first thing is what we had already started discussing, that land is not property. A land that has been developed to be a property is a property. That means that if you're contributing a land, if you're coming up, if your input is a land that has already been developed, and if you're contributing that within the B5 community, collaborating with members to do something on that land. So here are the other members that they want to do something, but they don't have the land to do it. And then if you have the land and you are going to contribute that land as your contribution into the business, so that when the business becomes successful, you're involved in the property sharing, in the profit sharing. I'm sorry. You have to understand a few things here, and the reason why I'm making this video in particular is because a lot of land users are abusive in terms of the fact that they will use the fact that they own this land, that their name is on it, to do what we call an amalgamation, taking over the business. So here you are, you're collaborating with this person to do this business, and their land was in their input, the land was in their name. Now the business becomes successful, they kick you off the land and they take over the business. Of course, that is obviously an unfair game. We don't play that game inside of the B5 community. So if you are going to do business with a person who owns land, here are the rules. One, you have to determine whether that land is a property or whether that land is just a land. I defined before the difference between property and land. If it is a property that you're going to be using to do your business, that property, the landowner that comes in as a property owner, have the responsibility to make sure that that property is suitable for the nature of business that is going to be conducted on the property itself. That means that you come now from contributing land to contributing property, which is a bigger share of the pie. Because now you're doing something that somebody else doesn't have to do. The other members of the group doesn't have to prepare this land, because this land is already prepared. It's a property. You see this right here, this park here? This is a property. And that means that anything that's been done on this, it's been done as a park, on it as a park. This is a property, this is not just land. But the place that I'm showing you right now, the part of the property that I'm showing you right now, this is the land. If this part of the property that I'm showing you right now, if this is what you're getting, which involves earth, grass, and bushes, and you have to develop that land from scratch, if this is required to be done in the business, or if this is what the deal is all about, then it's a separate deal where you would come in not asking for as much as you would if you had a property. So that has to be made clear first with the group of people that you're doing business with. So we just wanted to make that clear. We just needed to make that clear before we move on. Now, a lot of things can go wrong when you decide to collaborate with somebody with land. Like I said, it's a very dangerous way to go about business because people are not really honest. And because people are not really honest inside of the B5 community, this is why we create rules that every member of the B5 community have to abide by these rules. So we want you to look down where you see where we cover the subject about land ownership, where we define this properly and tell you what are the rules when it comes to doing business with people with land. What is it that you can do and what is it that you cannot do? What is it that they can do and what is it that they cannot do? You see, we are more here to provide protection for the people doing business rather than the landowner, because the landowner already have the land, so he's not taking any risk. But the people that are going to be doing business with the landowner, those are the ones that are vulnerable, because this man can say, okay, this is my land and I'm just going to impound everything on this land, you know, and just do whatever I want. You dare not even try that within the B5 community, because it's not going to work here. So please read the rules that we shall write on land and understand how it works, and understand here, as I mentioned in this video, the intent that we are trying to accomplish in here. What we're trying to accomplish in this writing is to protect the other members from the landowner. And we also have in that protection for the landowner from people who would try to abuse the situation. See, when we write terms and conditions, we have to write them balanced. Because if we was to say then everybody can come inside of the B5 community, and it's a guarantee affirmative support system, that means that people are going to support your business regardless. And if we was to leave that at that, without going further to define the rules here, then people would be coming inside the B5 community, not trying hard enough to make their business better because of the guarantee support system. They would come inside of the community, want to sell their thing for too much money, and they would take all kind of abuse. Anywhere the abuse is possible, they would take those abuses to the other members, and that is what we don't want. So this video is talking about land and how we go about land when we're doing business with people with land. So we shall write this, and please read. Thanks a lot.